he was retiring, and he said, he took me out to dinner in San Luis in Morro Bay.
Oh, that's nice.
And then we went out to, he drove around to Baywood Park overlooking the bay in Morro Rock. And he said, we stopped, and he got out of the car, and I got out. And I said, what's this, Jimmy? And he said, there's 2 lots here. I said, yeah. And he said, I own them.
Really? Wow.
And he says, you know, I'm retired pretty soon.
Sure.
I'm going to move back to, I don't know where it was, Oklahoma or someplace. He says, I'd like just a little extra income. He said, give me $50 a month until I die in these lots of years.
Oh,
and that's
generous.
Where would you go if you were,
lots?
You could go anywhere you want in the U.S. 3,000 beach, doesn't matter.
No, 3,000 total.
all over the place. 1,500.
1,500.
Where would you go? I already have my site.
How many million?
Yeah.
Stupid
Possible.
you know.
Well, it's hard to find a good place.
Norm, everybody having any intelligence.
Norm, everybody has a real estate story. Something like that. Yeah.
I like
Oh, well, I've got 20 of those. My brother was living in an apartment
but not right up against the ocean.
Yeah.
If anything happens,
Yeah.
that's it. All money gone.
Large
Everything.
2-bedroom apartments, beautiful
That's a lot
building.
cooler down here.
Close to downtown Pasadena.
That's
It's also expensive too.
And the guy that owned it was
So you gotta
older and
find a
getting
place
ready
where
to
you make enough
retire.
money.
And he told my brother,
Well, there was a beautiful house up on the hill. We were thinking about it, but it was so expensive.
Yeah.
Then we go home, it already sold. Or
$1,000.
They already
or
sold.
something. Of course, they only
but more
rented
houses
for
go up for sale.
$150.
We look at the houses and
Yeah.
they're pricing, it's like we
You know,
just
the
afforded
place
the other
back then
house.
was
We
positive
could have
cash.
got it.
And then my
And I have
brother
that regret now.
talked to me, and we just never got it.
We always come to the hotels on Pacific Highway. Just watch the trains
That
come
would have been a
by.
money machine.
And they used to have the horns before, now it's a no horn
Today,
zone.
Yeah, a lot of quiet zones now.
2 a.m.
get
Hear the Venus Sound coming by. But it sounded more like a distant.
I got a friend that lives in San Diego. He worked for a bank. And he used to buy all their repossessed properties. Not all of them, but the good ones.
What a connection.
REOs, real estate owned.
And he bought one out at Point Loma, overlooking the ocean. It's about a 4,000 square foot home.
Wow. Yeah, I got a picture taken 110 miles an hour on this car.
And worked for it. Worked for 90.
I love being out there when we're going 90 going backwards. So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
up against.
For a year or two,
Yeah.
got it all fixed up.
Wow, but 110? Where would you go 110?
Years.
On the East Coast.
At 12,000 a month.
I remember seeing those videos of the Santa Fe F7s going
That's
over
got over $1 million already.
what,
That'll pay his property
115?
tax and insurance.
How is that even possible? I'm just watching the video and you're going so fast. It looks like it
Oh
was
boy,
just
low
speed up.
assessment.
Back those days, you're behind schedule. There's an engineer just went. Oh, it's fixed. Yeah. Make up that time.
Yeah.
And he had at one time 40.
I mean, as far as it's scary, but it actually would have been nice to
There's not a house
experience.
in San Diego under $1 million.
I mean, it felt so
I
weird
agree
going out
with you.
there. It felt
Wow.
dangerous too, but
Yeah.
also
And yet
if
he
you think
lives
about it,
in
it
a
feels
very-
thrilling.
A very nice home.
How often can you do that? Stand on the
Nice
platform
area of
and
San Diego.
feel the
And
rush
you
of
would
wind
never
on your
know that
face.
he had
Yeah, I spent a lot of time out there on that platform in the past.
Yeah.
But like you say, we've all got those stories.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
once we pass
I
San
remember
Clemente, mass population, we have like
Yeah, just look
probably
at any stock that you saw that you wanted to buy.
Population in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
Same
Oh
thing
no,
there.
Oceanside
Well,
and Carlsbad.
I remember
Never know.
when I went to work for Santa Fe in '68. Well, I'll take it back. The spring of '69, I was standing
It's a little
on the
gloomy
depot
today, though.
platform in
Yeah, it
Flagstaff,
is.
Arizona, with
See how the
a couple of
ocean
my
takes
fellow
it.
supervisors. One of them came walking up and he said, well, I called my broker and the Santa Fe stock's 12.5 a share. Both of them. And he said, I bought 100 shares. And I said, really? Wow, that's good. I didn't tell him I'd been buying the stock for years. Well, I called and I bought a bunch.
Good.
And I had 1,000 shares.
Oh, boy, that's good.
When
There's your water.
BNSF
Well, certainly not. But I mean,
So you if you hold on to one of your bidders.
No. I mean, the hotels I'm talking about over here, one of those hotels actually had a landslide, and the property from up on the top started coming down into their property. So then, after that, ownership has been a little sketchy.
I wonder why. Yeah.
It's actually out of business right now. You can just see it close up. It's really sad, but I mean,
Yeah, but
That's why we don't want to get a house on a cliff.
and this one was below. I can only imagine what happened up there.
Off the coast of east coast of England, there's a whole town that's underwater there. And when the tide is kind of rough, you can hear the bell ringing.
Well, that's right here. I think they were even saying here that they were getting floods. For a whole city to be underwater.
Well, with global warming, all our coastal cities may be underwater. So we live inland, so we may be beached from property. We live how many, 60 miles?
Something like that.
60 miles from the ocean.
Yeah, those winter trips.
I am strongly opposed to the merger.
Now look at these houses here.
Further away.
Behind the houses here.
It would
Right,
upset
on the edge.
the competitive balance.
But imagine the view though. Seeing this every day.
Look at that.
Yeah,
see, they
hold that guy up. Transportation environment.
Did you get any reply back?
No, but I sent him a copy of it to Keith Creel, president of CP. Got a very nice letter from him, thanking me for my views.
That's good. Yeah. Form letter?
He's gonna want to go out once we make a stop.
Personally signed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, his secretary. You know, he told her, if you get any nice letters, send these guys this one here and sign it.
Here comes one of your money shots, Mark. San Clemente, San Clemente Pier.
Here,
Who else is gonna go out?
you know, this place is without
No,
pier.
I would be very
What was that?
wonderful. My house was right
What was that?
San Clemente.
Yeah.
Nixon's hang out.
Oh wait, aren't we gonna
I
stop
thought
here?
we stopped here.
Yeah, that's right. Look for Richard Nixon, the ghost of Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
He'll be roaming the beach in a suit with black shoes on.
Black shoes.
Yeah, there's a picture of him.
What is
doing
the
that.
The
significance
one
of the
that
black shoes?
David Frost
train today.
I
gave
thought
me.
I guess it's only
Yeah,
certain
that's
trains that
I
stop
actually,
here.
I was on the Queen Mary one time, and David Frost was one of the guests.
Oh,
And
boy.
they showed the movie.
Right, the next stop won't be until
And then they had him there.
We're not gonna
so
have any
he asked
audio videos.
questions, talked about his experiences. 2 years later, he died on the Queen Mary.
Oh, boy.
2 years after I heard him speak. He actually died on the cruise when he was the speaker. So that's how he was making money.
Yeah.
You see,
Well,
you
you get-
people, if
you
you
get
just
free
saved
sort
your
of
money, you
just
could
in
ride
time.
here too.
Yeah. You get free crossing, free food. All you have to do is get up there. And,
You heard the speech yourself. You were sitting there, you
yeah.
listened.
Oh,
And yeah, he had red socks on. And so he's asking questions. I said, why are you wearing red socks?
But
And he said, because you
It
support
doesn't
the
Amtrak
team.
warned us, you still need to go to hell.
He did what?
Supports the team.
No
Oh,
one
oh,
has
team.
ever
Red
been
socks.
injured
Oh,
on
sure,
a
gotcha.
scheduled train.
Good answer.
Nixon's old Western White House is right at the county line here.
On
It's
an
up above
Africa
the
special
cliffs.
train where a guy got hit.
Yeah, he had his own grade crossing
Oh
for
yeah,
a
we
while.
heard of that.
Johnny,
I think, was actually rail.
To get him to the beach.
I saw the
You know, I
old-
have a little bit more respect for
Well,
Nixon
they-
now than I used
We
to.
were in LA when we
At
saw
least he
it.
had the
Amtrak
guts
is
to
not even
resign.
willing to talk.
Sorry, no more politics.
Well, I live in Yorba Linda, about
I get
2
it.
miles from the
But that's
Nixon
just how they
Library.
are.
And I go there only when they have it open for free. On his birthday and President's Day.
Is that right?
Get in for free.
Really?
Yeah, it's an interesting library. And they redid it.
I am not a crook.
But, you know, in the scheme of things, he comes out quite well as a president.
Yeah.
Now, take out Watergate, and he would have had a great presidency.
You know, he opened us up to China. That's, you know, in good and bad. He advocated strong defense.
He had a lot of good things going for
Yes.
him.
Yeah, if you like the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, I think he developed that.
Did he start that?
I think he did, yeah.
Wow.
somehow was involved in it.
Well, the EPA is, definitely a problem. It's to the point now where you just literally cannot do anything in California. I mean, you can't put up a building now in 3 years. It takes 3 years to get all the permits.
Well, yeah, Norm, look at the Coastal Commission.
Oh, well.
The property we're riding on right now, we're on either side. So.
Oh, the interesting thing is it doesn't apply to the railroad.
Yeah, that's because it's a federal.
Well, they exercise jurisdiction like in double tracking.
Well, I bet these house here a few $1 million.
And because
anyone have a few $1 million
a government agency, they sort of go along with the rules. But they could say,
all you can do is
interstate commerce, get off. What they do is the rules apply to new construction, but not to expanding capacity. So they double the length of siding. Can't say anything about it. And then they double the siding again. And eventually this will all be doubled.
Yeah. Here's our surfers beach, San Onofre. Yeah. Trestles.
Yeah, this is trestles.
Personally, I thought San Onofre had a glowing future.
Oh, it's got glowing all right.
I'm just radiant about it.
You could say it's hot property.
Norm, we're coming up to that heat plant, atomic plant, siding.
San Onofre?
Well, no, the what do they call it? SOMS, San Onofre Nuclear Generating
Yeah,
Station.
SOMS.
Yeah, there's a siding for them, and aren't they taking some of the stuff?
I thought that was north of San Clemente.
No, it's coming up.
Here.
Coming up. Aren't they taking by rail cars some of the waste out? Anybody know about that?
When I bought
thinking
this
about
car,
it?
when I bought this car in '97,
Yeah.
a friend of mine worked for BNSF.
My phone charged.
And he's their manager of passenger traffic. And he manages the relations with Amtrak,
74%.
transit agencies. Pretty good job. And he called me
Oh, yeah, we didn't feel that.
and he said, would you consider using your car as an escort?
I might go back and read that.
that smooth.
Good ride on that northeast corridor.
Well, I couldn't get a picture of that without blur, but the gale was hanging on the back of me. Took a picture, get 110.
Sometimes you're better off doing a video.
These are the movable. No, they're not movable point frogs. They sure ride well.
If it wasn't for Camp Pendleton here, this would be completely urbanized from LA down to San Diego.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's
Thank God for the Marines.
That's the end of the double track there. Yeah, that's right. There's this another stretch of single track down here.
Yeah.
Like the Oceanside.
I think they're working on this side for the second track because the Marines want that bridge enlarged at Las Bocas. And so they won't get one double track through here at the same time. If they can't get the big equipment onto the base on the highway. And this is where they're grading the second track.
guys will see all the high rises right around the station here.
Oh, yeah.
Just amazing. There used to be a few vacant lots just outside the station. Not anymore.
Yeah, we used to get down Oceanside once a year and watch all the stuff get bigger. Well, take downtown San Diego there now.
Oh, yeah.
All those high rises.
10 times there.
Boy.
Yeah.
60-mile-an-hour switch there, Dennis. We went through it at 60. Most of the switches that I'm used to are 50. Like what they call a number 24.
So that's why you're so surprised. I'm like, I've been to that before. We usually go 50.
A number 24 turnout, in order to diverge 1 foot, 1 inch, you got to go 24 feet. So to diverge, say, 15 feet, you've got to go, several hundred feet. That switch there is probably about 16.
Stayed right there a few times with them there.
Look at look at these towers. This is new.
Yeah.
I used to be a vacant lot.
Last year, all used to be parking lots or vacant lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Now they're all full of bathing beauties.
Now where are you going to park nowadays?
I guess they expand the structure too. This building wasn't here before.
Everything's so much bigger. Jenny, let's go get Burger King and come back.
Now this hotel, this beige hotel, used to have an ocean view. Not anymore.
This
Because
one
that
here?
gray behemoth
This one here?
was built. Yeah.
Yeah.
That beige one used to have an ocean view. Now it's just on Rich or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's the siding.
Yeah, this is it right there. Track all the way to Daggett. And they're staying with us. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I like the stretch of track when we're in the middle of the highway coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Look, there's all those post rails.
They laid up all of their engines up. That's a beautiful curve. 90 miles an hour, Dennis.
They moved it into the parking lot. Maybe they moved it back out. Yeah, I don't know. We can't see.
Top Gun.
Yeah, used to be a beach house that they had a little rendezvous in the movies. I think they moved it back out. Yeah, used to be in the parking lot there.
Oh, the crossings are still on down there? Why? Oh, there it goes.
That's a weird way to do this other tracks over here.
Is that a Sprinter?
Yeah.
Now that's an interesting locomotive that they have because it's
There's the
an actual geared locomotive. You guys know about that?
I think it's hydraulic.
Yeah, rather than have electrical motors, transit motors, it's somehow geared. You can actually hear it shifting.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah, something unusual.
Does the coaster only use that track?
Yeah, now, yeah. Then to get off that, you gotta walk way down there to get that.
But it's right across from the Sprinter.
Yeah, there's the Sprinter right there.
If you head too close to Fallbrook, that direction. Should be splitting off from us in a minute.
There was a company that
bring a Santa Fe inch back there.
Yeah. What freak should we be on?
It's on the 30. What? 76. Which one is it? Put that on 76. I can't.
Which button do I press again?
Up.
When Santa Fe used to run potash trains down here for export, and they were about 8,000-9,000 ton trains, and they would come down here, and they'd be in dynamic braking come into these sags, and then as soon as they got across the sag, he'd come out on the throttle and pull them back up. Those bridges got them moving, because going downhill, you know, you're pushing the rails. Going uphill, you're pulling on them. And all of the wooden trestles down here were at their bottom of the slough was steamship. And they were loose.
Oh boy.
And they had a hell of, they still have bad bridges down here. And that's why they've had to come in and replace a bunch of them, because they were floating be good because you still got checks left, right?
Well, Norm, you ever get that money I sent you?
What?
You ever check see if you got that money?
What money?
Yeah, checks in the mail.
I keep promising you.
I need to go get it back again.
I saw something where there was $500, but that was, well, that'd be for this trip.
Well, God's going to send you some more.
Okay.
But you didn't tell me that you got the money or not. You didn't have the first one, so I canceled the first one.
No, I saw one recently where it said you got money.
Oh, okay, then you did get the first one. I've been waiting for you to tell me. I'm going to send you some more.
And if I just call you, you send me money continually?
No.
Why not?
It's like a stock.
You know, I could be very happy being kept.
You got so much money you don't know what to do with it. You don't even ask me for it.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
Hey, look at this here. Look at what you got here. An antique, you're running. Antique stuff gets expensive.
An albatross.
And if you're not here, you're somewhere
Beautiful.
else. Waiting for it.
Well kept. Very, very impressed.
The thing that keeps this car going are those Canada trips. You know,
Well, and your
that
son
European
Brad,
money spent so well.
Norm, that and your son Brad, he maintains the car, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did have a
Oh,
son.
yeah, that's a
Oh,
big-
yes.
Yeah.
Although we just spent $4,000 on the air date. You know that every 3 years you got to do the COT and S.
Yes.
You spend $4,000 on that. You have all the brake valves and its cell stands, the emergency valves. And
$4,000 for the service.
They have to be rebuilt.
And what about Doug's car? That's been sitting there for what, a couple of years?
3 years almost.
What does he have to do to make it good?
Well, his is a different type of brake valve. He has to do his every 4 years. But he had to overhaul his trucks about 3 years ago. It cost him $100,000 to rebuild his trucks.
Yeah, boy. Well, as long as it's good to go for Vermont.
How many people has he got on that now?
What?
How many people does Doug have on a Vermont trip?
Well, we're trying to get 10 out of LA, and then we want to have about 15 out of Albany.
Last I heard, it's 4.5.
$4.5.
I want to be at the half. Yeah.
Well, it might be you being the half. I don't know.
Oh, you want to be the half there?
No, I'm round trip.
I guess that's going to be an underpass there, huh?
I guess if somebody's not committed, that's why the half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, there's not many
No,
crossings
actually,
here.
what that is, Dennis, it's for some of my friends that are half-assed.
No, I sent in my 1,500, 3 segments.
I believe it'll go, but it's going to be close.
Yeah.
And by the time we figured out that we could do it, we got a figure from Amtrak, from Aberco. We lost a couple people that went to other cars.
Oh boy. Okay, too bad. They should stay loyal to LA Rail. But LA Rail is
It's gone.
yeah.
Defunct. What the hell happened to all those, remember those movable point frogs? They're all gone. Now, the UP loves them,
Oh, yeah.
but the BNSF does not. Just like BNSF will not put a concrete tie in a switch.
Yep.
But there's always wood ties. Of course, this is not BNSF track anymore.
Well, it's like approaches and bridges to do wood ties instead of concrete.
On bridges?
Yeah. You know, the approaches to them there?
Oh, the approaches.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that.
Or you come up on the detectors, there's wood right through the detectors too.
That's probably because the vibration from a concrete tile drive the detector crazy.
Can't be, because UP's got concrete through them.
Yeah. You know, it could be. Well, when I went to work for Santa Fe, they had an old timer that ran the signal and communications department. A guy named C.R. Thomas. And boy, you know, he was convinced that the Morse
electrician to plug it in.
I was walking through the yard at Barstow one time when I was still working for the railroad with the local chairman for the Switchman Union, and he was a radical son of a gun. We're walking down along the lead there. Here's a big rounded, what they call a glacial stone that's been ground up, you know, with the glacier. Great big thing. Landed right there. And I said, hey, let's pick that up, put that in the dumpster. I want somebody to follow it. He says, not me. What do you mean, not me? I said, that's not my road. I said, I'm not here to negotiate your wages and working conditions. Put the damn thing in the dumpster. He said, I'm not going to do it. Then he's challenged me, right?
Yes.
I said, you either do it or you're out of service. He says, I'm not going to pick it up. That's maintenance of way work.
Both sides now. It's a desalting plant for ocean water.
Wow. Not yet, but I think there was a green.
Oh yeah, so you did get back, huh?
What?
It's
Interesting, you know, the way he took that position. I thought, Jimmy,
stubborn.
He was a sociable fellow. It wasn't unreasonable. I said, Jimmy, don't do this. I can't back down at this. Wow, 2 people got off.
I come down to the station and cross the highway here. There's a nice little beach. You get there in 5 minutes.
by walking.
Yeah,
Oh,
just by
nice.
walking. And take the train back. It's a nice little day trip.
Sure routes down here to Del Mar.
Busy or something.
Well, they used to have it set up where they would want to come. I found this out the other day. There are 20-something. So they pulled the pin on that deal, and they gave all the cars back to Amtrak. But now I see a bunch of Amtrak coaches.
We got 2 on this
The
train.
trains. What?
We got 2 on this train.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if is that gonna ease the equipment supply, perhaps, but not in time to do anything for Del Mar this year. And Del Mar is what, 4th of July to Labor Day.
That's a huge revenue for the railroad.
Oh yeah. Santa Fe used to run or 2 and occasionally even a 3rd train down here just to Del Mar. The first one would come down,
You use that spur. They have their own
head
track.
in, unload, back out, and park clear out here. The next one come in, head in, unload, back around the Y out here.
Oh,
And then the 3rd one would unload, and then have to go to San Diego to turn. It was ruins.
well, Norm, Dean McCormick made a bunch of money doing the Del Mar races. With the Scottish Thistle before it turned into dust.
Well,
The
we
rust.
turned into the rust.
From rust to dust.
Too much time down here.
Did you ever see that car when they finally got inside?
No.
Oh.
I think it just fell apart by itself.
Well, where the kitchen was, there'd been so much moisture there was no side sill at all.
Yeah, I got pictures of that inside there.
Yeah.
The side sill consists of I think it was a 3 or 4 inch L beam attaching the floor cross members to the side. And the beam was completely gone for 9 feet. There.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look
Got
at
some
that.
work going on.
Yeah, they're doing something.
Well, look at that. Yikes.
Okay, now it gets a little narrower here.
Sure does.
But no slow orders.
No.
Zooming right through.
Yep. You're right, right through.
A lot of ballast in there.
A lot of earth there. It's not as big a project as I thought it was. I thought it was miles.
actually very similar to the one that was by my house. Or actually, it might have had 2 lights. But
That's gotta be the heavy duty.
I don't even know how heavy the one that was lifting. No, the picture I showed you of the crossing. A lot of the times I was lifting it by myself at one. Then I get a call like halfway in. Hey, the crossing's up. Why did you do it without me? They got it up within a few seconds. It's heavy, but it's doable if you have more than one person. You can't do it by yourself. It's very heavy. That one I showed you, it doesn't even have a head. I was just lifting a pole. It's pretty heavy. 8 feet tall though. So it's
What you
definitely
can
shorter.
do is you can replace the steel pipe with plastic. It'll take a lot of weight out of it.
It will.
Then you paint it. No aluminum.
In that crossing, I mean, what are the crossings made out of now? They're poles. Are they some sort of heavy duty aluminum, or are they?
I think, well, they may be aluminum
Or
or
are they steel?
I don't think they've done any plastics. Plastics will deteriorate after a while in the atmosphere.
I mean, the one that we got from San Pedro, that was along the coast. The bow is all rusty, right? Though it functions really good. It's all brown.
Well, the cross gauge center pole is steel, what I see. But the top part there is all aluminum on there.
But you think the pole itself is actually steel? Because the one we got, I think, is probably from the 40s.
It could vary, I mean, place to place. Once I see.
I'm told people that, well, a pole is just a pole. I mean, it's not specifically for a railroad crossing, but I mean, they're cut to that size and they have holes in them so that you can put the wires in.
Yeah.
So, at the same time, I don't know, I feel like it is a part of the crossing.
Well, look at the railroad bridges, how they built back in the 1900s. Run the big trains over on that.
No, sorry.
And I almost got stuck.
Oh, and four-wheeler.
Only imagine.
Well, it's very
Like,
nice to give you a heads up,
But
right?
the regular stick is like,
You get that crossing there and it has an old base on it.
yeah.
It's really nice. Well, that's funny. The ties go from
The other side
concrete
of the
to wood.
hills.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Pretty
they do the
interesting,
same thing.
The electric streetcar extension is probably ready for operation. It's taken a long time, but they have their 2 tracks on that side, and then it goes over the top. Beautiful job on that. And,
It shows you what can be done if there's enough money.
seems to be,
Like this here, this is the technology of 1900.
yeah, no straight line, no trestles, no bridges. It just follow the contour. And it
This
has
ought
a
to be through it from Del Mar to Mission Bay. Ought to,
Hey, Norm, which room is the one we're going to be sleeping in?
I don't know what, let's clean the land off.
You guys want a funky room, really neat room? I'll give you the cruise room. It's 2 berths.
This was already. Oh, yeah.
Here, let's put your bags down there.
Through just to get them out of the walkway.
Was on that.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't make the last trip a couple months ago to Chicago on this car, did you?
You know, I haven't been on any railroad for the past year and a half. This is my first rail trip in a year and a half.
And it's a good one.
Since it's the best. Since the pandemic, in March, early March of last year. So, just shy of a year and a half.
Dad came down here, this is the 3rd trip since been out of hospital down here. We did one go to Chicago, by San Antonio, Chicago. The Norman and I had to get out to go ride Amtrak to Flagstaff.
How long were you in the hospital?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Wow.
3 weeks. Ooh.
And was this during the COVID crisis too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Last
boy.
July.
Wow.
A year ago.
Yeah. So I'm a year younger because I was in the hospital for my birthday.
Well, those poor people that had COVID, they put them in comas, so they can just maybe get over the damn virus, and then they can get them out of the coma.
Oh, they induced something, huh?
No, they're going to, said I couldn't swallow some stuff I don't remember. So they're going to put this feeding tube in me.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm down there in the operating room, they put me out and everything. They didn't do it. They said I had an ulcer. Well, I don't think I had an ulcer. I don't take nothing for it or nothing there. I was back waking. Oh, I haven't been COVID tested. Never did test me there. So go back up there, nurse comes in, they tie my feet and hands back down like I had before. She does that there, stick a son of a bitch up your nose and all. Then she drops it on the floor.
Oh boy.
Well, I told her pick it up, put it. Oh, I can't do that. So then I had to go get another one again.
Because some people that had that thing going up their nose felt like they were touching your brain.
It's bad, I tell you.
Right. How did they get rid of the clot? Just through medication?
I guess.
Or did they go?
Well, they kept. Yeah, they gave me a 0% chance to live.
Wow.
Brother's gonna have a video of the whole trip.
That's what he's been planning.
Part of my son Patrick, he was taking care of. I was getting more information about myself on Sunday, but he's calling the doctor's talk.
I've got to get some metrics today.
One evening, you know,
Windows
talking
didn't get very clean at the
pull the plug on me.
washer.
According to him, the doctor.
No,
he
they usually don't.
That doctor said, I thought you were going to pull the plug
I
on
don't
me.
think they do that right.
Looked at me there in the morning.
It's always better
The
by
doctor
hand.
was surprised about that.
I mean, I've seen Metrolink or no, even Amtrak worse.
How's
really bad.
Patrick's beer making? How's Patrick's beer making? Really.
He's still doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Does he still enter contests and state fairs and
Well,
stuff?
not much now because of COVID.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they canceled a lot of them there.
Yeah. Boy.
I think I agree with this. Beer this week.
Just when you need a beer,
Yeah.
COVID comes.
Yeah, he changed jobs there. I mean,
Yeah.
he's working for contract and now he started working for the
I haven't been down here in a
government
year.
there. So now he
Well, I
doesn't have
haven't
any leave
rolled the train down.
vacation
I've
time.
driven down.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, true.
You always got to start at the bottom of the list there.
Oh boy. Work his way up again.
But he's been working from home lately though.
operating, Norm? Or is it still under construction?
Yep, it's perfect.
Oh,
Good deal. A runner.
Walk right out there and start her up.
Let's take it to Taxi one of these days.
But
Let's go to Taxi with it one of these days.
Or you just stay there.
Or you stay there.
it would look pretty good up there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
July 4th is the day to be on the road with an old car.
yeah, some parade, Norm? Have you put it in a parade or anything?
Yeah, I've been in a few local parades and car shows.
That's terrific.
Great.
But the classic cars are dead now. What they want now is muscle cars. You got a '69 Camaro worth $75,000.
I watched that Mecum auto auctions on cable TV or one of the channels.
Oh, I've had
Just
it listed.
amazing what cars are going for.
I've had it listed in Hemmings Motor News for a year. Hasn't sold.
For how much?
35. Right here was where that warehouse was, where the Cyrus K. Holiday lived.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's
It's got a cross.
it's right down here.
They pulled the track out.
Yeah, they did. They took that truck out, and so now the Holiday stays in the engine house on the San Diego and Imperial Valley down in San Isidro,
Oh,
and the transit agency here pays for it.
because they had to pull them out. Why?
Yeah, I saw that recently within the past couple weeks. Pad down to the back of Amtrak.
You just took it?
Yeah.
I think they did a trip to Seattle.
Right on. That's the door. I posted a picture yesterday of one of my trips with the car sitting there. Oh, that's very good. It's amazing those camera phones take such good
Good for us. Nice little
Making sure
do the throat stuff there. They come in there, water, heavy blankets, juice, mouth massage, there, stuff like that. But one day they came in and did all that. Here's a big plate of lunch comes up there, you know. Before I left the hospital there, go home.
I watched that Mecum auto auctions on cable TV or one of the channels.
Oh, I've had
Just
it listed.
amazing what cars are going for.
I've had it listed in Hemmings Motor News for a year. Hasn't sold.
For how much?
35. Right here was where that warehouse was, where the and the transit agency here pays for it.
Because they had to pull them out. What?
Cold water or anything?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Very nice.
Oh.
Darn it. Invite me back.
Well, I gotta get your coffee pot back to you anyways.
Yeah. Well, we're good. You're welcome to keep it, but we're good with those.
Well, that's where we get the
Pods,
pops.
yeah.
I didn't know we had those.
Yeah, because the piece of the very
Pardon me?
top piece of the percolator's missing.
Those
So
right on the chain
that was
fence
cowboy
beside
coffee
this
this
building.
morning, anyways. So, but
Just a bunch of rail, isn't it?
No. Look at the actual chain link fence.
What?
That figure chain right
Oh, it's a cutout, isn't it?
there. Why would they do that?
Looks like the back of a priest.
Are you based in LA?
I don't know. You got a good eye to catch that. Very good catch.
yeah.
You know, I just didn't pay attention.
Can you bid to be based in LA?
My preferred airplane is no longer based in LA, so I'd rather commute up to San Fran to fly.
about 12 miles kind of north and east of Fresno.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's on some. It's actually on some Indian land because one of the names of his railroad is Watobi. It's something Watobi and Western Railway picked up the native Indian name for his railroad.
Into San Diego?
Yes.
How do you miss the parking garage?
I met
Just
him
before landing.
through another friend, Ken Tunkuk, who has.
It's crazy.
15-inch railway.
You just
Those guys all know each other.
know to stay right on the glide path.
I was invited up there about 20 years ago.
Tools that we
The railroad
use
was quite
is
small then.
radar altimeter.
tunnels, overpasses.
Straight down.
He has his own
And if I'm paying
small
attention,
bulldozer,
the radio
backhoes,
altimeter goes
crew.
to 0 really
He
fast.
just
and then
loves railroading
when
now that he
we are
retired
over
from
the parking
United.
garage,
I guess he owns the land.
Just
so
watch it. Watch
Yeah.
it.
He just puts money into the railroad.
Yes.
Miles,
it's been a
track,
while.
miles.
And then going out of John Wayne and
Never heard of it. I've never heard of
Yeah,
it.
we do
Yeah, those
that,
guys are pretty under
that
the wire. They all
goes
know
up
each
there
other.
along with
But
yeah, we do that special noise
it's
event
private,
departure.
except that you can go. Well, you go on the weekends. It's open to the public.
Yeah,
You
we try to
probably-
warn the passengers.
Yeah, partly get a
before we
ticket.
go that it's
I guess that's how they work it.
different.
I lived in Fresno for a year and a half.
Well, you're still about 12, 15 miles
That's
away.
right. You don't want to mess
I
with
can't tell you the
people at
highway
Newport
number.
Beach.
I think he's on a state highway, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, watched the National Geographic why airplanes crash. Have you?
Oh, that's not my favorite show.
You
What,
know,
that's
most
not
of
the
the
influence
action,
entertainment?
No,
most of the actions are pilot air.
it kind of
Yeah.
does. It's,
Just about everyone I watch has been in pilot air.
well, it's a chain of it all starts with something. Not
Yeah.
always, but it starts with something little. But
Yeah.
the lawyers can always whittle it down to pilot error. And that is a
Well, it used to be
Spilled coffee
before.
on the console.
that
I've
is
heard
a
of those.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that wipes out some of the radios, and
Yeah, it used to be
That's
your
the thing.
crew coordination. I used to fly two C-130s.
that's what your wife was saying.
And the thing is, I mean, we have crew coordination. I sit aboard or whatever. We saw this, but you're afraid to speak up and say something to the pilot back in those days.
Yeah.
Because the pilot was God, and everybody questioned what he was doing.
That last big crash in San Francisco, Asiana.
Yeah.
That was all about that because while
Nobody spoke up, huh?
while U.S. carriers have kind of wiped out that captain is God thing, we're now
Asians, no, the Asians.
no. It's still everybody knew that something was horribly wrong, but nobody said anything to the captain.
Well, the last I saw last week was UPS, Air 767, I can't remember which one it was, came from Memphis going to Birmingham. And they had a runway closed, they had a runway change. They had a co-pilot, female, where they came up and said, well, she didn't get her proper rest, but the pilot had a week off, he had a proper rest.
Are you spending
When they had the runway change, they didn't change the stuff in the computer.
Box, yeah.
So the computer had them line up the old runway, and then I'm crashing.
Well, say hello on
Because of
Facebook.
the terrain.
Oh, I
I'll look
didn't
at
see
some of
that.
the photos.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I pick up your name,
But see, that's crew
I'm oblivious
coordination
to
where they're
pass.
popping back
We're
and
already
forth,
friends.
but she didn't have a rest.
come on and say something.
Didn't catch that
Look at my
there.
page.
Didn't verify the runway. and all
every-
that.
Then there's
Scroll
one
back for
before
18 months.
Flat Club's takeoff
Santa Fe,
crash.
UP.
Every major
Back to
transportation
the 60s.
accident, the big ones that you hear about,
That would be my brother.
they never occur because of one little thing.
It's a
Like
chain. Yeah.
a collision between two trains. Oh, he went by the red signal. No, the crew was not not fully rested.
He would have.
The engineer dozed off. The conductor was goofing off, and
So how do you
they were
guys-
going too
how do you
fast
meet
or
north?
something.
Yeah.
Multiple rule violations, one after another.
Yeah,
Well, your
chain
PRS,
of events
maybe
leads
your
to
preference.
No, that was
something
after.
fatal,
That was
or
Right,
heavy
2 years
metal, or
after.
that's how it is.
I don't know, we
for
just-
sure.
Hooked up.
I guess normal. How did we ever meet? I can't even remember. How did, after the first trip I did with you, it was here on the San Diego trip, but
You
the
got on
day
the
trip.
you got on the wrong train or something?
I should have known.
So you might as
better.
well ride.
I can tell you a funny story.
First class.
I was, we were coming back from Chicago, I think from an Aprico trip in the fall. We left Kansas City about an hour late, about midnight. So I go to bed. in my room down there, room C. And
that last big crash in San Francisco, Asiana.
Yeah.
That was all about that because while
Nobody spoke up, huh?
but while U.S. carriers have kind of wiped out that Captain is God thing, we're now
Asians, no, Asians.
no, it's still everybody knew that something was horribly wrong, but nobody said anything to the captain.
Well, last I saw last week was UPS, their 6 or 7, I can't remember which one it was, came from Memphis going to Birmingham, and they had a runway closed. They had a runway change. They had a co-pilot, female, where they came up and said, well, she didn't get her proper.
So, if the vice president wanted you to talk, that seat where Dennis is would be empty. He said, why don't you sit right here, Norm? Tell me about your territory. And then you get a couple of 3 hours of grilling.
Oh boy.
I mean, they were, tough questions. So, one day, this one train master who had a problem with alcohol, and it was known. His reputation preceded him. And he comes out at San Bernardino to get on, and the trap is closed. And he gets on there, and he's, with his feet on the step and his hands on the handrail, but the trap is closed, the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And the train's starting to move. And the vice president looked over there at this, and he says, who's that silly son of a bitch? And that was an indication that his career was probably in trouble.
So they're going to double 64 over to that track, or that side.
Yeah, they'll pull us down.
They'll drop you, pull away, double over.
Yeah.
That's when I have to leave. I go to lunch with my son. I didn't go home with him.
I hear your
77.
son is the engineer.
No, he's a conductor.
Does he running back here now?
No, that's Martin and a newbie. My son's the other, probably in the engine or on the ground.
I'm going home on Amtrak business class at 1:35 today, and I have to. I'm boarding number 2, boarding status number 2.
Can I?
Down here in San Diego. Do you guys know anything
Oh,
about
they've
that?
got some new COVID crap, about boarding in small groups to keep you from
I see.
close in. It's always
They didn't do that.
It's a neat place to be parked right here.
Yeah. Oh, it's prime. Yeah, it's prime.
I was sitting here one time about 10 years ago, and a guy walked over and was looking at the car, and I got talking.
Wait, are they actually done? Or they haven't even uncoupled the train yet?
For him we're in emergency.
Usually I'll take
sleeper
these
car.
other 2 tables out and put 2 more chairs in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Oh, come
And
on.
the chefs, they work all day, and sometimes 3 meals a day.
Yeah, this guy did. He
Uh-huh.
fed us 3 meals a day for, days on end.
Boy, it sounds good.
Yeah, more energy than
Look
I
what
had,
I
that's for
found,
sure.
Dennis.
Oh, I knew it's back here.
What's that, beer?
Beer.
Oh boy, Carta Blanca.
Unless I want to climb in with you, but it's going to be a bit of a tight fit. We do have the room with the double bed on the bottom,
Oh,
but, and that's a good word, but,
Well, Norm just took the blankets and sheets off that
of what?
bed. He had them both stacked up there.
Well, I might try and I might take one of those off that ambient.
Oh, get the stuff out
Okay.
and you see it back there again.
What's that?
I said, you can get the stuff back out there. There goes our train.
Is that our train?
Yeah, it was our train.
Okay. But none of the grandkids are here now. They're all off elsewhere.
Yeah. Oh.
And I think our daughters.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you now for all
Thank
your
you.
service.
Next time. Yes. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My son-in-law is probably off working somewhere.
Uh-huh.
He's a repairman for criminal and medical instruments.
Oh boy, I bet he keeps busy.
Oh, he's been very busy because
Yeah.
they're always breaking down.
Sure.
And his company is based in Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
So every now and then he has to go over to Switzerland for training. What a sacrifice. And they'll let him take my daughter
well,
with him.
the Swiss make all the instruments,
Yeah.
right? They're known for that.
So Chuck has the whole West Coast, including Canada.
Uh-huh.
So he's flying up and down.
Yeah.
You know, I never know where he is. I'm in Vancouver. He was in Seattle and he got COVID. Then he had to hibernate for 2 weeks in a hotel.
Did he get it bad? What were the symptoms that he?
No, he says that he was very sleepy, was tired.
So
Didn't
fairly
want to do
mild then,
anything.
right?
Yeah, fairly mild.
Oh boy.
Didn't want to do anything, just wanted to sleep.
Yeah. Well,
And,
when
you know,
when I got the Moderna, the second vaccination, just felt bad one day. Felt like I didn't want to do anything, fatigue. But it just